Hello and welcome to this pit stop for Fine Sand, designed by Friedemann Friese, published by Stronghold Games. In Fine Sand, 1 to 4 players are going to compete to build the best sandcastles on a day at the beach. And in fact, what they're trying to do is, from their deck of 30 cards, make it so that there's not a single card left in their draw pile or their discard pile. In Fine Sand, rounds are played simultaneously. At the start of a round, every player puts their dobber in the middle of the table to show that they're now playing, and then they're going to go through these following actions. To start with, everyone's going to draw initially 2 cards from their deck. Then each player makes a choice. They can either draw more cards, and it's dependent upon what's in your blue column. In this case, again, it's another 2. Or they're going to be able to build, which we'll come back to. However, the problem with drawing all of these cards, and you start with 6 cards in your hand in the first round and you don't draw any, is that you've got a hand size limit. And our hand size limit is 3, so we'd have to discard a load of these down, not helping us at all. So let's pretend we hadn't done that. Let's pretend that we had, in fact, decided to build in our second part of our round. And in building, we're going to try and get some of these cards into play, and I'll show you what they do. In order to build a card, you look at the price on there, and that's how many cards or coins at the end of the game you're going to have to discard. In this case, I'm just building a sandcastle. Sandcastles go above your board. They have no further effect other than to help you get rid of the cards in your deck. This has got a cost of 2, therefore I would have to discard either 2 cards from my hand to go in my discard pile, or there are queen cards, and by discarding a queen card you get as much value towards building as there are coins in that card. In this case that would be 2, and that would cover that building. Now while that's all well and good, we're going to want to build up our infrastructure so that we can build more efficiently. For starters, if we build green cards, and this would cost 7, which isn't possible towards the beginning of the game, but as you go on and build up you can see how you can get there. We're going to draw 3 cards at the beginning of each turn. Now I've built that. The next one allows you to do more builds. The red cards will add builds or add more effective builds as you go through your deck. The next one along improves this 2B option, and that's going to allow you to draw more cards if you choose that as your option. And the last one is going to increase your hand limit, allowing you to build up in order to build these higher value cards. Now once you've done your 1 draw cards, 2 build or draw more cards, and 3 discard down, you bring your marker back and put it on top of your deck. Once every player has put their dobbers back from the middle of the table, we're all going to then check and see, because there are yellow cards you can play during the game, and yellow cards are a free action you can play whenever you want during your turn. Everyone starts with this one, in which you can take 1 card from your hand and you can put it on top of there. And if at the end of the round, when everyone's passed, there's at least 1 card on each of these cards between the players, then the player to your left is going to have to pick this up and add it to their deck. In this base set of 30 cards, there's 1 other yellow action card which allows you just to discard and redraw during your turn. So how's the game going to end? Well, if a player empties completely their draw pile and the discard pile, because once this is empty you shuffle these up and put them back on this side. If it empties both of them during the initial 1 phase, then we're going to play to the end of that round and finish. If a player empties their draw discard pile by doing the 2B action, we're going to finish that round, and then we're going to play 1 more full round. When you're playing through that full round, if there's not enough cards for you to draw to help you pay for things, that's when these coins come into play. You simply collect them and you spend them as cards to build things. Once we've gone through the final round, whichever way it does, whether 1 or 2, you're then going to check and see who has got the fewest cards left in their hand, their draw pile and their discard pile. And whoever has done that is going to be the winner of that particular game. Now for the basic game, once these have been used through, because they come in a set order for your first game to help you learn, you can just shuffle them up and then continue playing with the same deck of cards. But this is a fable game, meaning it can change over time. And each player has also got a set of 27 fable cards. And if you wish to go into the fable, what you do is 1 player draws 3 cards out of their deck. They show the other players what those 3 cards are, and then all the players are going to discard those same cards out of their decks and all draw the same fable cards to come into their decks, so that everyone's deck changes slightly. There are 9 sets of these fable cards. You can do that 9 times, change your deck up, and then you can start cycling back in those original cards you discarded, so that your deck will be different in every game of Fine Sand. This has been a Game Pit Stop. For more videos like this, please check out our YouTube channel. For more in-depth coverage of gaming, please check out the Game Pit podcast. Thank you.